You all, welcome to today's edition of Beyond the Ordinary Show. And we have our dear friend, and I call him our dear friend because the second everybody meets Alejandro, it's like, I've known him forever. He's like my best friend. I want to hang out with him. He just carries that energy. And it's going to be an amazing call today as we get into what's navigating the stars, the astrology, and maybe some cartography as well. Locations on the maps that amplify or teach us or guide us in particular ways. And Alejandro has just been a gift and a breath of fresh air on Beyond the Ordinary, helping us piece some of the things together as far as what's happening with the new moons and the full moons coming in, with so many movements of planets that haven't aligned in decades or even centuries sometimes that we're navigating, and how the world as we're witnessing it are beautiful mirror reflections of what's being demonstrated through these charts, through these transitions. And if the world as we know it is reflecting that, that also means that your personal world is reflected in the stars and in the placements also. And Alejandro makes it concise, clear, fun, in an open-hearted way where we can really navigate it, not from a place where we have to come up with caution, but that we can really be in an expanded space of receiving, discerning, and moving forward in more empowered ways because we understand the mapping a little bit clearer than we did before. And so it's going to be an amazing call. We're going to get into some of the transits, the astrology that's up, and we're going to get into a ton of readings, y'all. I'm going to try to take advantage of Alejandro's time with us today so that as many of you can get a short blip of a read, well, not too short because he's pretty thorough, but get a good feel as to what's coming up perhaps in your chart. So have your name, birthplace, time of birth, and where you were born. Information ready. You can type it into the chat box if you want to as well. Note that if you share your birthday information, that this is recorded. It will be posted live on YouTube eventually, and so that information will be out there. So if you're uncomfortable with that, you may just want to have a private session with Alejandro, which is part of the special offer, and we'll get into that a little bit later. If you're interested in looking at that, the link's in the chat box now. And again, more details on that later. Alejandro, I can speak for the next 30 minutes about you, but let's go ahead and dive in. Welcome back to BTO, brother.
I'm so happy to be back. Happy 2026. We last connected right at the turn of the new year.
Mm.
So much has
And
happened. What an exciting time.
so let's get into it. We're in some major transits right now. We're ending an eclipse portal. We've got a new moon in Pisces. We've got the equinox happening at the same time. Let's dive in. What do you want to share?
Well, first of all, I wanna wish everyone a really early spring equinox. We're a few days
Mm.
away from this, kind of gorgeous celebration where, at least in the northern hemisphere, we're gonna be coming into this time of renewal, and I know that so many of us, and I'm gonna be using this word tonight, us, because I feel like the messages I receive from my friends, loved ones, and the people I get just the true honor to work with, about all the seeds they've been sowing this winter. I was telling John that I was in New York in February. There was a huge blizzard. Now I'm in Los Angeles and there's a huge heat wave, So there's so much extremes happening. And I want to share some good news with all of us today. There's so much to work with in a positive way. I obviously, and everyone who's had a chance to work with me knows this, I get real and I honor the shadows and the darkness for what it is. And I have this positive message that you matter, that we matter together. And I think one of the most inspiring phrases that I pick up from John, and I always love to refer to it, is that this is about you. And right now there's so much talk about so many things that are happening that are so far away from us. And it's less about saying not to research this. It's more about what is around me now, and through this kind of momentum and these ripples of love that we can do. And so, John, spring equinox a couple days away. Tomorrow, we are finishing a Mercury retrograde that has really told us, listen, did you package up 2025 so that we can lay the brick so that 2026 can come in with all this fresh new structures, the word. Of course, we talked a lot about on the last show, this year of the horse, all this movement, specifically fire, right? So this is a third thing we'll touch upon tonight. And then I also want to talk about Jupiter that also came out of retrograde last week. And so this is really huge. We're getting into this forward sort of motion. It's interesting when I work with clients during retrogrades, how very naturally there's a lot of processing that sometimes the reading needs by touching upon the past. I have a feeling that, everyone that's going to be inspired tonight to kind of get a reading and purchase the amazing special package is really going to be tapping into this forward motion. And then I
Mm.
just want to remind everyone that, as John was saying, we are in this incredible moment that we haven't seen in so many years, planetary wise. We're talking about novelty from Uranus, who, by the way, on this new moon is sextiling and creating opportunities. I want to talk tonight a little bit about these mini miracles. And so, John, when I connect with the listeners and do the readings, I'm gonna look to see where's Uranus, like where can they expect this kind of mini miracle? I know there's a lot of
Mm.
people since the start of the new year that have been kind of hoping and wishing, and I really feel that spring ushers the true kind of breath of the year. And then at large, as I was saying, we have Uranus, this unexpected, these mini miracles, Neptune, all the spirituality, the clairvoyance. John, I mean, how many of our listeners are so clairvoyant? You know,
Right.
and I love to spend time as well in, again, the most organic way, speaking about how can John, how can I, how can our community support you tonight that's listening or listening to the replay? This really is, there's such little coincidence, I believe, right? There's all these connections, and that's why we love these horoscopes. We love to see where was that, and then what happened, and then what can happen, right? The potential of possibility. So I really want to talk directly to the listeners that over the years, maybe they've had this calling. It's this secret voice from their heart, or these kind of, maybe they're a sentient voyant, where they get into
Mm.
spaces and they feel things. Just know that these are the communities that are going to continue to allow you to grow and for you to find your space, and you have space, beyond space here with us on John's show, and also with the work that I offer. And so I have a message of hope tonight, and I know that there's so much. I'll speak as well about Saturn being conjunct Neptune, right? There's really this moment, John, where, listen, the ego is gonna listen into the angelic messages, the higher spiritual guides, and it's gonna use it for its benefit. So darkness will reign, right? Because it's gonna, opportunity, John. Who's ever gonna take it, whether it's people with intentions that are less than optimal, or all of us that are champions of, what I want to always remind everyone, that being a human is such a gift. I know it's messy, and I know that there's so much
But you
murder.
you know what? It's I want to reverse the conversation that it's messy because it almost seems like we say that out of habit
Yes.
for consensus. And you and I know that the messy is also part of the beauty. And instead of going into, oh, it's messy, it's like, oh wow, I wonder why it's messy right now, and I wonder what's on the other side of it. And so there's a recalibration that's happening around there. And there's a new collective conversation that really needs to lift that old thought form into a higher vibration possibility rather than taking it down and creating it in a place where we're trying to make lemonade out of lemons and we don't have to work so hard anymore. It just isn't there. So it could seem messy collectively, but what's really happening here? Like you mentioned earlier, what's the truth in my world rather than let me get messy with everybody else just because they say I'm supposed to be messy because they're being messy. And so I really just wanted to bring that back into an alignment of where you and I and us on this call, where do we want to pitch our tent? Where is it that we want to call home and why? And to be really intentional and conscious of that, because that's where we're creating the possibilities. It's Alejandro, what you bring in and what I really appreciate is that it's it's like the universe, the celestials are giving us all the ingredients to cook our stew with, and we get to decide what we're putting in that stew with our emotions, with our actions, with our thoughts. And so, again, the, the cosmos are giving us just the right ingredients for a creation that can really propel us in a way that we're cooking like five-star Michelin chefs if we choose. And what are we going to do with that? So let's dive into the astrology. Where should we go? Should we start with the eclipse portal? Should we go through the new moon? What feels good to you?
Yeah, so essentially, this message from the eclipse portal, which is tied to this new moon, is essentially speaking about what you're saying with regard to being able to level up the narrative and being able to really be open. So, I spend time with the acknowledgement just because then I want to use the word in spite of that.
Nice.
And this is what the true work, right? And so
Mhm.
Uranus directly with this new moon eclipse portal is essentially giving us something unexpected, John. So I think everyone listening in and tuning in can expect within the next, I would say 10 to 12 days, a mini miracle.
Mm.
And again, I'll be able to get really specific for those who, have the opportunity to kind of purchase and connect tonight when we do our readings. That being said, for the consensus with that positive, I have a message from Uranus that there is this unexpected, and I keep using the term mini miracle that we can really relish in. So I want us to begin to use almost that type of light, right? As we navigate this. The second thing is there is this, as I was briefly mentioning earlier, this forward momentum now that such important planets like Jupiter and Mercury are direct. There's this way
Mm.
where the mind and the best way I can describe it is that it really needs a moment to rewind the tapes, so to speak, rewind the footage for our young listeners. There's something about that period of the retrograde where we integrate. And so now that we're in this portal where the integration has happened, it's going to continue, of course, through the next few days as we gain more momentum. It's going to really put you in a place where, oh, that was confusing to me. Oh, there's more clarity now. And I was so inspired when we were connecting earlier when you said specifically around everything happens in the present, in presence.
Mhm.
And this is kind of what we're tapping into, John. This idea of like, this is the moment. Uh,
Yeah.
and it's not that you're less worthy or more. No, no, no. This is the moment. And I'm just so kind of grateful to be in this position as a sort of steward of the stars, and I really feel so much pride and joy with the connection I make with everyone I connect with. There's something about so much opportunity to learn. And I think there's so much to uncover. So Uranus is going to show us something unexpected, John. The eclipse is really ushering us into full 2026. There's no more talk of 2025.
Mm.
And then, I want to mention that there is this kind of very potent energy that I was alluding to earlier that essentially is going to be quite a strong marker with regard to beliefs. One of the things that I feel most grateful is when somebody and I are tuning in and connecting, and I'm hearing phrases like, oh, I don't really get to talk to many people about this, or,
Mm.
this is going to sound crazy. And I'll be like, try me, right? There's this
Yeah.
way where, and even with you, just this ability to kind of come as I am, right? It's a kind
Mm.
of sort of phrase. And I want to share almost like a beautiful imagery that maybe we can all take with us. And I learned this with a friend that I was meditating with this week. This idea, John, that you're this incredible prism and I
Mm.
get to shed my light and then you broadcast. And the same for all of us.
Ah,
So
love
there's a
that.
way where I want to tell all who are watching, John is an incredible prism. I
Mm.
work every day on my prism and how can we continue? Because, my friend was saying, well, a mirror seems like it just stopped. A prism, there's this more kind of holographic element, right, that can be inspired.
Love that.
So Neptune and Saturn, we're getting serious, John, and it can feel serious sometimes, but we're gonna make it feel good, and we're gonna kind of tune it out. So Saturn and Neptune being conjunct for the next few months, and it really being uh, an igniting marker here on this kind of new moon equinox. We're going to be transmuting the heavy because you and I were holding hands. Our listeners
Mm.
are holding hands with us as we face the unknown, right? Because now together there's momentum, there's force, there's courage that we can build off each. I mean, every time I connect with you, I ignite because I'm
Yeah, same.
reminded of the respect and the love that you bring to your craft, John.
Mm.
I got a little reading from John before we connected. I was so lucky. There's your gifts and so it's contagious, right? And that's what we're doing here. We're just trying to really remind everyone of this possibility. And
What would you say also about the spiritual and emotional maturity of someone receiving a reading based on their placements compared to someone that's not? Because even the Saturn and Neptune conjunction also, there's different interpretations of that depending where you are. And for our community, I would even say, and that it's a clarion calling that we've been navigating this plasmic Piscean field for a long time, and we're coming in and we're being asked to ground it in, to embody it, to anchor it into this earth plane, and to lead from it in consciousness. And so, how do we create the change that we want to see in the world? Well, we don't wait for the unconscious people to do it, or the companies or the structures that to self-correct. We open the doors with the prism that we get to shine and reflect off of each other into new possibilities. But for that prism to really shine brilliantly, we have to open that door. We have to take ownership and say, here we are. And so even with that, the interpretation of where we are in awareness of our own consciousness, what's running the show as far as our emotions and thought forms and old patterns, how does that affect the readings and the placements for an individual, Alejandro?
it brings more of an opportunity to gain clarity. There's something about how
Mm.
sophisticated our minds are, and I'm an evolutionary thinker, and I love this idea that we came from dust, right? And this miracle of sorts. And, I also parts of myself believe in all this other incredible mythology of how we're just so sophisticated, our spinal column into the brain. And I love all of this. And so, there's this way where we have to remember as an organism, we have so much, um, unresolved is the best word that's coming to me. That's almost like before us. It's not even ours, but we're carrying it out of tradition and out of, uniformity. And we were kind of elevating this human form. We have to remember to live in society, there's an enormous sacrifice around when you're what you're allowed to say and oh, I'm feeling this in order not to kind of, and so this is the place where you get to do all the things because we're so big that we can handle all of it, right? That this is
Mm.
this is the crux to remind us like of this beauty. And so this work, when we go identifying things, there's this way where I almost like can feel this uh almost like a deep breath or a sigh of relief that somebody can track their lineage even before the dust, kind of so to
Nice.
speak. And there's this way where it's a direct link to the beyond. which is, I think, what we
Yeah.
really are searching for, John.
So our own inner clarity, it shines the field even more potently, so even greater clarity can come through. The veils lift even more. And right action based on that clarity becomes much more easeful and graceful as well, um, which is wonderful. Let's get into some readings.
Yes.
And we'll tune into some of the astrology as we continue on some of these. So it's I've promoted some of y'all to panelists. If you want to turn on your video, that would be amazing. But let's see here. I've got some information on here. Y'all be sure to send me the city and when you were born as well. Um, so let's get to Tanya right now. So Tanya was born May 30th, 1969, um, in Lutsk, Lutsk, Ukraine, at 6 p.m. And as you're pulling that up, before you get into that, I'm curious, Alejandro, what mini miracle are you expecting based on your chart with the Uranus placement that we're having?
Mine came early.
Okay,
Mine came
nice.
early, and it has to do about my current love relationship. So it was
Mm,
definitely a strong message about uh, we can do this, is what I heard when I was meditating.
nice. I find that before transits happen, that sometimes I'm like in the beginning of the wave. I tend to experience things like a week, 2 weeks before, if it's a big transit, even maybe a month before.
Very
Is
sensitive.
is that true for different people, how that affects them?
No, and I can almost like think of how the way that you can even feel temperature almost, and the way that the body
Mm,
can be attuned, and we're just like quite literally feeling waves of these energies. And you and I who've been so tuned in and open to it can feel it earlier because we're tapped into patterns. And this is another
yeah.
thing, John. I think a lot of the time there's so much, we're touching upon the incredible pillar of clarity. There's also this almost understanding that intuition and clairvoyance is a muscle, John.
Mm,
I know that you and I both love to go to the gym to keep our physical body healthy. That being said, you and I close doors, cameras off. Like there's so much, muscle, spiritual work.
yeah, yeah. So that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, wonderful. Thank you for sharing your personal message. And Grady brought up that awareness of things sometimes just show up a little bit before, or maybe at the tail end of it. Again, some of the Mercury retrograde stuff, some of us may still be transitioning for a few days. There's a tail ending of it as well. Um, so let's go
Does
ahead
Tanya
and
have a question?
no, I think she just wants to know what's happening, not a particular question.
Amazing. I have her astrocartography pulled up.
Oh, amazing. Okay.
Amazing. Okay, so
So give a brief explanation of what astrocartography is in case anybody on the call isn't familiar.
John, my specialty as a Sagittarius is traveling. I
Mm,
adore the idea that different destinations can really unlock within us. And of course, the physical culture and the buildings and the everything that's physical. That being said, energetically, there's so many different kind of styles to study it, whether you say ley lines, I like to call them meridians. Let's call them activations, and
nice.
essentially even for Tanya here, I'm noticing that there is something that's gonna always connect her um to Eastern Europe. There's a almost possibly a pride, or she's just by example something that someone that's gonna to carry that. I don't see her possibly living there long term. Possibly
Mm,
she's migrated away from Ukraine specifically. And then, as I come further out, I'm noticing that she has an incredible career line through Chicago. And maybe that could mean that there's a
mm,
company that one day could be really aligned with her, or if she ever had to have, the base in the United States, it seems that would be the place. And then if her uh wants or inclination is to build a home or to have a spiritual kind of center where she can really expand her spiritual life. It's actually in Southern California and Arizona for her. So she could have
wow.
maybe amazing experiences on retreats. I'm seeing really incredible spiritual opportunities there in that region. Yeah.
Mm, sweet, amazing. And y'all, as you get readings, or if you're interested in having a private reading with Alejandro, the special offer offers that. Again, we'll get into it in a little bit. The link's in the chat box. If you know that you want to sign up, it's a discounted rate. The reading's amazing. I'm signing up for one. I haven't done it yet, but I will after we finish the call because I want to get my reading. It's time because there's been a lot of transitions. Um, but again, you can go deeper even after today minis reading if we have again, we're gonna try to get through as many as we can. So I'm gonna try to keep my talking short. Let's go to our next caller. Let's go now to Maureen. Maureen, welcome to the call. And yeah, y'all find where your unmute button is on your device so that we
There
can
you
just
go.
like sprint through these. Hi, Maureen.
Hi, sorry about that.
That's all right.
How's things? This is exciting.
We're happy to see you. So let us know your birthday, your time of birth, and where you were born, and anything else that Alejandro may need, he'll, I'm sure, let you know.
November 26th, 69 at 7:52 p.m. in Kitchener, Ontario, Canada.
Exciting. I feel excited for you, Maureen. I'm like, my heart's like excited. I don't know why. It's
I
good.
like it. I'll take it.
Could you tell me the city one more time in Canada? In
Kitchener?
Kitchener.
Yeah,
Let's see.
Ontario.
How do you spell Kitchener? K
Got it. Got
K-I-T.
it.
Oh, you got it.
Kitchen
All
with
right.
a kitchen with an ER.
Are you still in that region? Are you still in
I
Ontario?
yes.
There's something really powerful about what I'm seeing that this is a lifetime of a lot of healing for you. Uh,
Yeah.
there's something where almost it's almost like your grand work and the projects that you're going to be involved with throughout your life can never separate from that. It's really kind of like you would serve it as an example, either as a survivor of something, or whether it be, so many things are coming to mind, but it's such a positive thing. And I think you possibly underestimate how much you heal others without even trying. And even though potentially sometimes maybe when you were younger, you took on some sort of energy you couldn't deal with.
Mm.
As you really become more of a master, which is what this kind of meridian is showing me, it'll go developing. Oh my goodness, you could even do this professionally, I see. You have this incredible Neptune meridian. I don't know if it's giving readings, but oh my goodness, I'm so inspired. I want a reading.
Tell me how, and I'm all for it for
Oh,
sure. I would love
amazing.
to do that.
So a lot of these lines go down to Florida. I don't know if you ever want to go get somewhere warmer, but you could definitely ignite them down there. And let's see if there's one last message here. Um, I'm wondering if there's going to be people that are specifically located in places like Vancouver, British Columbia, Seattle, Portland, even down to San Francisco, who need your message, is what I'm seeing. There's this exchange of almost like insights. I'm also seeing as well. You could do it over the internet. You never even have to physically meet them. And I'm also seeing that if you're single, this could be a place where somebody from this region could be a great partner, possibly even business partner.
Cool. Sounds fun.
Thank you, Marie.
Thank
A
you.
lot there. Yeah, if you want to go deeper, Maureen, again, the special offer is fantastic.
All
Yeah,
right.
thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
All right, let's continue. Joshua, welcome to the call.
Aloha.
Aloha,
Hello.
brother.
Thanks for having me. My birthday is December 27th, 1986, in Lewiston, Maine, at 10:04 a.m.
Found it. All right. Are you still up in the Northeast? Oh
I'm
no,
in
you're in
Northern
Aloha.
California.
Oh, you're in California. Amazing, amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so your message from California is that you have the sun on your identity quadrant. This is amazing. This is a lot of vitality for your identity, for the way that you can express yourself. You also have Neptune here that John was mentioning earlier about this Pisces work, this metaphor from the Pisces that we receive with regard to because I'm almost imagining that you live partly in the astral planes, and then you also are trying to ground yourself. Let's see here. There's really not instructing you in California. So a lot of vitality from the sun. And I'm seeing that you can possibly create a business that can run online. You can be a kind of a nomad if you wanted to eventually, but if you kept the base in California, it'd be very, very uh lucrative for you. And I'm going to even go beyond that and say that the West Coast, specifically California, up through the Pacific Northwest, is the best places where you should be buying a home, starting a business, anything that you can make possibly passive income and keep the base on this side.
Awesome, beautiful. I'm starting a couple businesses right now, so it's like
Joshua, I feel the
synchronicities.
sun. I feel the sun. Bless.
Yes, bless the sun.
Blessings.
Aloha,
Yeah,
brother.
aloha. Thank you all so
Thanks
much.
for coming on, Joshua. All right, let's continue, y'all. I am glad you came on video because I was going to read your chat, your birthday. So the fact that you showed up is just further confirmation. Dina, welcome to the call. Yes, you.
Woohoo! Hi.
Hi.
uh, yeah, I just joined. So, what should I say?
Birthday and birthplace.
Okay, my name is Dina. So my birthday is the 5th of September, 1977, around 11:15 a.m. in Tomsk, Russia.
Tomsk.
Yes.
And where are you currently, Dina? Where are you calling from tonight?
I'm calling from Hamburg, Germany. That's the
Uh,
north of Germany.
Amazing.
wow, wow. And I'm curious if something in Uranus may be showing up for a mini miracle for Dina as well.
That's
I'm
right.
just saying, I'm curious.
Well, so for Joshua, it was about this business, and he said he has a couple on the mark, brewing. So I'm so happy he confirmed that.
That's great.
Um, for Dina, it's going to be something personal.
Hmm.
There's something about your physical body, Dina, your identity, the way that you're kind of expressing yourself in the physical world, that's gonna get a sort of upgrade. I don't know if that's gonna come through an inspiration you see online. Maybe it's the way someone's dressing, an influencer or a model or some sort of but there's something really nice. I feel like it's almost gonna be like a little action of self-love that's coming her way. Dina, I'm also seeing that in Hamburg, very similar to Joshua, which I love, John, these coincidences. We had Tanya, 1969 Rooster, Moren, 1969 Rooster. And so I'm loving that we're getting a double sun meridian here. So, Dina, there's something about Germany that is giving you an enormous opportunity to develop your identity in such a powerful way. And I'm really happy with the meridians I'm seeing. If you were to ask me if you're going to stay here long term, I think you're going to end up finding another base potentially. But I could further diagnose, if we were able to connect. But it does look like you have investment lines in other places. There's not really Germany.
Well, there you go, Dina.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Um,
And as you get readings also, be aware that we're going to run the replay of this call for the rest of the
mhm.
week. So y'all can come back and listen again and integrate and see what makes sense and kind of take some time to reflect from these readings also because so much information can come through so fast that it's
Yeah.
good. And if you have your personal reading, will be recorded. and you receive a lot and a lot of transmission in what's being shared as well. So your body may be receiving before your mind does. And so to go back and to listen to what was shared, and especially when you're alone, gives you like that space to really like soak it in and have a relationship and really look at the potentiality that Alejandro is highlighting for you. Dina, blessings for you, and thank you for being on here. I know it's late
Blessings.
over
Thank you
there.
very much
Yes,
for your show. Thank you for you both.
you're so welcome.
Appreciate.
Uh, Beautiful. So I think we have a cartography question and maybe a little bit more, but Christian, welcome to the call.
Hi, thank you. Yeah, I am looking for some guidance on where I may relocate to sort of have my most peaceful life. I'm at a point of transition, and very few things are holding me in place right now.
Mm.
So, my birth date is June 3rd, 1967. I was born at 12:34 a.m. in Arlington, Massachusetts.
And are you still in Massachusetts, Christian?
Right now I'm in Rhode Island, but I live both in Boston and Rhode Island.
Amazing. I
Mm.
love it. Okay, so the first thing that's coming up is that you have an incredible sun line inside of your home where you are. So this,
Mm.
I know it could be quite, cold for so many months of the year in the Northeast. However, there is something that you're able to channel even in those moments. I don't know if maybe you're traveling, which, by the way, I wanted to mention sometimes when I'm reviewing these meridians, it's important to also share that you can unlock energy simply by traveling there. Sometimes,
Mhm.
connecting with somebody from a specific place. Um, but peaceful, it's really complicated in this region. We have Neptune in such a bizarre placement for you here, which doesn't allow for that rest that you're seeking and this intention that you've set. So that's going to start coming in and shifting in as soon as the Midwest. So New Mexico and Arizona and Colorado, they have this gorgeous Neptune line. I look for this beautiful.
She's smiling. You're missing her big
Yeah.
smile when you said
I
Colorado.
know, I know. I'm gonna look back at this. Oh my goodness. So there is something that region can really offer you.
Mhm.
Um, you could actually extend that over into parts of Texas and Louisiana, and Chicago. So there's this kind of interesting triangle that I'm seeing here within the states that could really ignite that Neptune line. Let me see. It's also dropping through Mexico, so I don't know if the
Mm.
Yucatan, like
Yeah.
Cancun and all that region. Mexico has like incredible relationship lines. I don't know if you're single,
Oh, I
but
am single,
but they
newly.
go up through
Uh,
Texas and all the way through, again, Chicago's being highlighted a second time here. Love
Mm.
line. Wow, so
Okay.
cool. Fabulous. And then unfortunately, it's not reaching all the way to California or the Pacific Northwest. There's a bit of a block there that I could talk about in a different way. So there is this kind of interesting part from Mexico up through Colorado and touching
Mhm.
Chicago. That's your places in the States
All
uh
right.
that I'm seeing.
Great. Thank you so much.
What a
it
pleasure.
sounded like that sparked something in you, Christian. Was there an awareness already that you had?
Yeah, I traveled to Santa Fe recently and really loved it there. But more poignantly, I was in Sedona and my body was just so happy there. So,
Mm.
and Colorado is always a place that feels like home, even though I'm not from there. So you sort of hit all three places that are on my target
And I
list.
and I want to just finish by saying that similar to Joshua, who I had mentioned had amazing investment lines in California, yours are in the Northeast. So if you want to keep where you want to keep all those investments and then live
Mm.
off them or rent your place, I mean, you have a lot of options. So I'm really seeing a lot of options.
Mm.
Great. Thank you so
Beautiful.
much.
Christian, blessings on your journey.
Thank
Bless.
you.
Alejandro, when so many options pop wide open, uh, what can the astrology and the cartography help us do to maybe help us land something a little more grounded and concrete rather than like, I've got 20 options, so I'm not going to move because I don't know what to do. right?
And it was similar to kind of the way that Christian was like almost becoming illuminated when certain cities were being said. I really
Mm,
take into account that. I'm taking notes during the reading, and then there might be a moment where we come I love this metaphor of becoming these incredible chefs of life, and when we see all the ingredients, then we narrow it down and we're like, okay, but this would really make a combination if I did
nice.
3 months here. And there really is, I guess I just get excited sometimes by saying, oh, so many options, by kind of reminding us of just the possibility, right? And then
Mm,
through the intention setting, which I know for her there was kind of a lot of I'll keep returning to that intention of saying, okay, well, we have options, but what we're really aligned with is she needs peace. She wants somewhere to
beautiful.
feel spiritually safe, right? Which is kind of the triangle that we painted for her.
And just to synthesize what you're saying, because it's so spot on, Alejandro. And y'all, this is where everything is calling us to right now. If we were to take a picture of what is happening energetically, spiritually, in a grounded place with the world, everything is landing us back into presence. It's landing us back into ourselves. And so we have all these different opportunities or options, timeline potentials. And Alejandro, you hit the nail on the head. We have to go within to really build that intimacy or call ourselves back home. It's like, but what is it that you want? Oh, I want peace. Thank you. And that's going to be the navigation. And then that lights up the field in so many different ways. So I love the way that you nailed that on the head and gave me the opportunity to share from my perspective as far as all these threads that I'm seeing locking into alignment, like a chiropractic adjustment, just lining up that life path of what's really alive and lit up for us in that prism type of way. So, Kristen, thank you for inspiring that, Alejandro. Beautiful reading. Let's continue. Y'all, we're gonna get to some more readings. Be patient. I want to go into the special offer though, because I want y'all to be able to sign up. Click on the special offer button. Alejandro, while I'm guiding this, will you pull up what my mini miracle may be in Uranus? I'm
I'm
so
doing it right
curious.
now.
I'm gonna
Holding
do it
it up
live.
high.
Click on the special offer button underneath the video where you're watching the live call from right now. If you're watching the replay, the button's going to be right there also. It's in the chat box. I probably already said that. And you can always find the special offers at beyondtheordinaryshow.com/marketplace. Oh, and if you're watching on YouTube and it's been a few days, you can find the special offer link in the comments section as well. So definitely take advantage of that and follow along here because we're not just going to be talking about a reading. Alejandro's added some additional transmission and materials to really help us anchor in what's becoming alive for us in the moment. And this is really phenomenal. Before you explain the special offer, what is up in my Uranus, Alejandro?
Listen, it's transiting your sixth house. It's about to enter the seventh house. So I'm predicting that in the next few months, there's these new relationships that are going to come to your life. New people that you've never ever even met or heard of before. It's absolutely fabulous. I just got chills. Um, I'm also seeing that the moon, this new moon in your fourth house, is igniting, and it's so funny when we connected. I was like, John, you look
And my
good.
Cancer's in the moon in the fourth house.
Yeah. Correct,
Yeah,
correct. In your natal
yeah,
chart. Correct,
yeah.
correct. I'm in your relocation chart in Hawaii, updating you. So you actually have Aries in the fourth house here.
Mm,
And so essentially, again, there's something being upgraded in your work life. I don't know if maybe there's a sort of like new technology you're going to be implementing. Maybe I'm going in a sort of direction because the sixth house is everyday affairs, but there is something also about the physical body. When we first connected, I was like, John, you look good.
mm.
But I think there's a message about your vitality, about your reverse aging. We need your secrets. Uh, and within your home, it looks like you're like stepping it up this season, uh,
Mm.
especially with your health. I don't know if you're going to start doing peptides. I don't know what it is, but
I've already started doing the peptides.
John,
those waves came along. And Christian and I were born the same year. I think there's something in the year that we were born that we just have like this baby
seven,
face thing going on or something. I don't know. The 67ers are keeping young, right?
So young, looking so good.
Oh my God, that's so fun. We're gonna drop into a reading, more one-on-one because I want to know more. Um, as far as my chart, I know what the special offer is, y'all. This is amazing. Alejandro, got everybody through what this amazing opportunity to work with you.
You know, John, I anchor us through the astrocartography, and I really love to spend a moment. That's why I offer the 50 minutes. You know, like somebody's
Mm,
50 minutes. I was like, no, no, no. I have time. I have time for our community. I have time, and so there's
yeah,
something where and I want to remind others that like you were saying, it's only in the present that anything can even ever begin and happen. Really expect this moment. So that's what we do. We anchor it with astrocartography. We talk about uh here's your money, here's where you could really expand your money, and here's a love line like we I think I told Tanya earlier. And so we anchor in that, and then we really have a space to kind of talk about obviously specific intentions about the reading, larger spiritual intentions. And so it's a beautiful reading. We recorded 50 minutes, and I tell people once we connect, you have me just an email away, right? Is there
yeah.
something in the recording that maybe we can review? And if we need to jump on a 5 to 10 minute call to even have a deeper clarity, please. So that's the crux of the package. And then I recorded a meditation a few years back, John, that it is just so incredibly powerful. It ignites all of the seven chakras. I have a lot of uh, friends and people I work with that they like to do it in the mornings. And it really gives you this idea of setting yourself up for gratitude and love, and setting yourself up through the different chakras. And I like to take notes when I'm going through it, being like, oh, well, today the third one, am I feeling creatively blocked? Or, oh, my heart's feeling a little, and so gives us some words to even begin to express our day. And then the third offering, John, is I have a full moon group. I see some of our listeners, our friend Sonia, and other amazing friends from the community that join in once a month. And it's a time to reconnect with me. Maybe, you're feeling shy after we connected, and you're like, how can I kind of stay in his orbit, or how can I continue this dialogue without, and this is the moment, bring in some questions. And so the full moon groups are fabulous because we set intentions. People's intentions are contagious. It really kind of like, oh, I was thinking that, but now that I heard it, I want that intention too, right? Whether it be, for us, John, I feel like we're setting an incredible, almost like aura of presence for everyone who's listening, even in the future. This is all a timeline. And so I give a message about the full moon, and we sit in a small meditation. So it's kind of a nice moment to we have people from Australia and South Africa and Germany, and so no, there's a seat for you. You're invited.
Mm. And so when people are invited into the healing broadcast, is that 1 month access? It's like, how long do they have access to that? Is it recordings?
I've extended it to a full year, John, because there's something about the theme. I love my
Mm,
my Chinese
yeah.
zodiac, and there's something about this continuity. I feel so grateful for the people that continue on afterwards and really find a space. Maybe you make it 1 month, maybe the next month you can, or so there's kind of like a flexibility, but I encourage people to write to me, let's get this going.
And get to be in community also. There's a couple things that I wanted to point out, y'all, and this is something that my desire is that you hold this in your heart as true. First is practical. The astral mapping readings of Alejandro includes astrology as well. It's 50 minutes, 50 minutes with Alejandro, and he is so generous and so open-hearted, and he'll help you vision your dream, and he'll anchor in the potentiality for you to carry it forward because he's going to be your biggest cheerleader on that call without question. So, from my personal experience and my awareness, I know whose hands you're in and what can be activated there. The chakra awareness meditation recording, Alejandro spoke about a field of gratitude. of anchoring that. And I just want to bring awareness that gratitude goes beyond being an emotion. It's actually a field of creation. It is a consciousness that aligns with the highest octave that we can resonate in human form. It is where you're meeting heaven, grounding in from earth. And when you get into that space and you flex the muscle of gratitude on a continuous basis, it's not so that you can just feel high off of that particular, 15, 30 minutes, an hour of meditation. You're actually going into spaces of creation where you're holding a vibrational field that is of the most highest aligned possible. And so to get into a gratitude practice or an alignment practice in that way, especially when it's guided from someone who can hold that field, it's powerful. That alone should be worth the price of this whole special offer if you do the practice. If you were to apply it. If you weren't going to apply it, then don't spend your money. What's the point, right? Um, and then the monthly gatherings of Alejandro, again, to be in the field of other people who are doing the same is just phenomenal. So, yeah, the special offer is $139. There's a two-payment option on that as well. Take advantage of it. You already know where to find the special offer buttons if you haven't already. Um, yeah, and for those of you to sign up, I'm so excited to see what you're going to find out. And with that, Alejandro, let's go ahead and dive some more into Q&A.
I also wanted to mention, if someone's not planning to travel or move, how is this relevant? Well, for me, it's almost like an understanding of again, what's available to me in different regions. And sometimes with all this amazing technology that we're kind of coming into in the 21st century, it could mean like I saw for someone earlier, I think it was Marine. Maybe she has an audience for her gifts in a certain place, like I was seeing for her specifically in Vancouver, or
Hmm.
maybe if I see a Venus line, I'll be like, well, maybe you should be getting your skincare from here. There's so much
Nice.
practicality to it, so I definitely see a lot of possibility, as we keep saying.
Oh, amazing. I was reading some of the chat. Chris just let us know there's even spaces available for tomorrow if y'all want to sign up. So that's awesome. I'm booked tomorrow. I wish I could. Oh my God. Okay. Um, but Alejandro's really generous with his calendar, so it's again, take advantage of it. I'm gonna read through the chat so I can find some of y'all to get information from. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and jump in with Adele. Welcome, Adele.
Hello. It was great to make it live. So I'm not moving, but I'm kind of curious for my Saturn return starting April 3rd.
Amazing. And what's your birthday, Adele?
Oh, sorry. November 24th, 1967.
Oh my goodness, yes, another 67.
We
have
rock,
both
man.
in
We
the
rock.
house.
Yeah, we do.
And Calgary, Alberta,
Calgary, Alberta.
and 8:10 in the morning.
Fabulous. Are you still in Calgary?
Yeah. Yeah, last time I was called, you told me I was going to the ancient cities.
Fabulous. So the third caller tonight, John. I'm loving these coincidences. Again, there's something about the sun on your ascendant. Adele, I think you underestimate how much light you bring to others through your word and through your message. I see two kind of blocks in Calgary. One of them has to do with Jupiter and expansion. So you're gonna feel that a little bit extra during this new moon, specifically because Venus and Jupiter, it's one of the shadow kind of transits that are happening. We've been focusing so much on all of the good, which we're gonna, continue to expand upon with Uranus and but I just want to let you know that sometimes your expectations in this region, even when you modify them, even when you're like, okay, I know better, I'm not, there's still this kind of like lingering. So just know that you do have these positions. So thankfully, again, the sun is such a blessing for you. Then we come back to the light and the positive. So much light coming from the sun for you. I don't know if you've felt at all proud of your accomplishments in your career, however kind of big or small they've been, but you should be proud. I'm seeing some
Thanks.
beautiful Mars line, and I'm also seeing, I don't know if in a couple of months or years, you would ever want to step into a sort of spiritual mentorship where you're kind of guiding others, but it looks like you have the mark of a clairvoyant. There's something
I
about
do that.
Oh my goodness. I want to really inspire you to do this and then you also have the blessing from Uranus in this region to broadcast, right? To kind of be with people from different as a Sagittarius, we can, be so kind of universal and expansive. So really positive here. Is there a city that I can look for or maybe another message?
Well, I'm just like, I'm glad that you're reiterating like Calgary is still a good place for me.
That was your intention. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, because
Uh,
I'm just kind of confused at where the company's going because I actually do
okay.
work with men's circles.
Amazing. Oh my God, your work is so needed right now. Thank
I
you,
know,
Adele.
but the men tell the men to come. Like
I know you're
Jesus.
right. We have to find some marketing. We have to find some. I'm wondering if there's if there's kind of gonna be some men for you in Toronto. I'm seeing this incredible that Jupiter line that you're missing in Calgary is in Toronto. I'm wondering if there's an audience that can be done online, but
Yeah.
incredible all the way down to Florida. Really beautiful Jupiter lines.
Okay.
And then, sorry, just to kind of close us up here with the final message, you have a really nice harmony to Saturn in Calgary. So I'm not picking up anything of being, that you need to be too frightened of. Of course, Saturn is going to be difficult, but I think it's not going to be as difficult as maybe some of the fears are saying. You got this. I'm so
Thank you.
proud of you.
Thank you.
Val, blessings to you. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, John.
Okay, let's go on now. Um, let's I'm not doing this on purpose, y'all. It's just happening that way. Um, we're going to Felicia. She's born May 10th, 1967. I'm just
Oh my
saying.
goodness.
Um, in Memphis, Tennessee. She wants to know the best place for her to live and or work.
She didn't put a time, right?
She did not. Oh, yeah, she did. Sorry, 10:30 p.m.
Our listeners are amazing.
I know. I got so excited about the 67 and the synchronicities that. And as you pulling that up, Sarah wrote in, I had a reading with Alejandro last year, and he was amazing. I can hear all his birds in the background,
Sarah.
who made a little cameo appearance during the reading.
Oh,
And she wants a message also. We'll get to you in a little bit, Sarah, I promise.
I have her profile already in my thing, so I'll
Right.
just pick it up. That'll be easy. And I'm imagining that Felicia's still in Memphis.
Felicia, are you still in Memphis? Let us know. Type it into the chat.
Anyways, let's see what message I'm getting here. Okay, so I have a feeling that she's gonna want to leave this region. This region is tied to a lot of family karma that's so much deeper than what she needs to ever heal, which is another thing, John. I'm really kind of proud of our community for all the work it's doing to heal, of course, ourselves and to even have a grander altruistic intention of healing, their communities in the world. But right now, Felicia, this is about you, sweetie. We got to make sure that you're good. So I just want to honor how tough this specific meridian I'm seeing from Saturn is, indicating early life. Oh my goodness. So I'm hoping now there's an opportunity to tap into something lighter, something more creative. So I'm seeing a beautiful Venus line through Florida up through New York. I don't know if you've ever dated somebody from this region or if you have ever considered a romantic relationship, but it looks like Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, up through New York could be an amazing partner in this region for you. And then I'm also seeing that there is this kind of opening of energy in Arizona. Oh my goodness. I don't know if there could be a company that you could work for remotely, but it's based in Arizona, could be excellent for you. And if Felicia, you ever really needed a moment to get away, 3, 4 days, maybe a month, I would choose New Mexico. Santa Fe has a vortex for you of healing. Oh my goodness, the inspiration that would come from that.
And
Um,
she's in Arlington, Texas right now, so just right outside of Dallas.
Okay, so what I'm really loving about this is that it moves a little bit away from the harshness that she had in Memphis. We were talking about that really intense Saturn line, but it looks like where she is now in Texas has incredible emotional connections. It seems like she's more creative than she can imagine, that she knows more people than she can imagine. There is, however, a bit of an intense Pluto line that's gonna require her sometimes to have to let go of things that she was really proud of. And I could talk a little bit more about the transformation of Pluto with her. However, I'm so happy that she's at least tapped into a beautiful moon line. Think love, creativity. Oh, Felicia, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, amazing. Blessings, Felicia. Thanks for sharing your information with us. All right, let's go to Sarah, and then we'll get into some more live callers as well. So Sarah wants to know if you have any special message for her from Uranus,
Amazing.
um, and wants to know if you see anything else for her as far as her being a healer in her chart.
I love it.
And Felicia says, "Thank you very much, so much," to quote her correctly.
John, very similar to you actually. Sarah is about to come into a lot of new relationships.
Mm,
And when Uranus is in the seventh house, activating the fifth house, which is where the new moon is going to be in, there's something about uh, this idea of connecting, this idea of fun. There's something that
mm.
she can expect in the next 2 weeks to meet someone new. I don't think it has to be with love. Maybe it could be if she's in the market. But it's definitely unexpected. It might be a friend of a friend. She might be somewhere that maybe somebody even compliments what she's wearing. But I just see something, and then from there, more fun. So it's a new kind of relationship, somebody she meets. It could even be online because Uranus typically does rule the internet, but unexpected fun with somebody else. And then I think it's gonna maybe, she has this incredible Jupiter in Pisces uh that has so much love for others, and I know she has so much work to do as a healer and so many messages to share. So I hope that potentially maybe in the next 2 weeks there's an inspiration from that kind of micro into more of a momentum, John, which is what are we talking about, right?
Right. Exciting. Exciting. Sarah, take this with a grain of salt. I don't know, but I just keep seeing you like at a retreat. Like at the beautiful space, open dancing, just it feels really heart open, and that's just the image that I get. I don't know how that lands for you, but again, I had to share. Such great reading, Alejandro. It's wonderful. Blessings, Sarah. Um, Funny. I'm going to be in a retreat in Hawaii in June. It's Sarah. I saw it. I saw it strongly. Um,
God, you're one of the
Amazing.
best. You're one of the
Right? So good. So good. All right, let's continue. Lua Faberti. Faberti. I can't say it in Italian, but I'm sure you'll pronounce it for me. And I'm Hispanic and I can barely roll my R's. It's sad.
Fabri in English, I guess.
Faberti.
Fabri. Yes.
Welcome, Lua. Please give
Thank you
Alejandro
so
your
much.
information. Yeah.
Yes. Hi, Alejandro. November 21st, 1965, 4:30 p.m. And I was born in Venice, Italy.
Venezia.
Venezia, la bella Venezia.
Mm.
But I'm also Italian Brazilian, so there's a big Brazilian piece.
Molto bene.
É ótimo, muito bem.
Muito
É
bem.
muito bom mesmo.
Oh, if you had a little Colombian in you, you'd be perfect.
Is
I'm saying
Alejandro
I'm
from
Colombian.
Colombia?
I
My
am.
family is Spanish
Oh,
by way of Cuba. Yes.
okay.
Yes, yes, yes. Sadly, I never was able to visit the island, and but I know Spain so well, and I know so many of the South American countries.
Yes, how nice. And I love Colombia. I've been there several times, John.
Oh,
Yeah,
there you go.
also. Me
Incredible.
encanta.
So
Algo
consider
increíble.
yourself adopted. Yeah.
Thank you. Muchas gracias.
What city are you in currently, Lua? I want to
I
get you.
live in Manhattan. I live in New York City.
Fabulous.
Yeah. I'm a craniosacral practitioner, polarity practitioner.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
I saw that in your bio too, a little bit of cranial and body worker.
Yes. It's so
Yes.
important. It's so important. All right, Manhattan. Let's see.
But New York's getting pretty intense.
I'm telling John, I was just there and it's really kind of wow. Wow, wow, wow. So Lua, specifically for you, there's something happening in your home. Are you getting an upgrade? Is it a new TV, a new computer? But there's something where it's gonna help you communicate. You're gonna be feeling good about it. I guess in simple ways, it's like an upgrade to your home. This is what you should look
Yeah.
forward to this spring.
Okay. It's been happening energetically to kind of
Amazing.
set my arrow in the right direction for what I want for the coming years.
Yeah.
Short, the ones that are coming right up.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
want to confirm that you have Neptune and the moon on your midheaven. Short speak, your purpose and your life work really can tap in to this incredible spiritual side from Neptune, and then the moon, the way, I mean, oh my goodness, I'm already feeling like, subtly I'm being worked on in the best of ways. And so there's a way where I'm just confirming that this work that you're doing is just vital and important in our times. And when I turn on the disharmonious aspects, there's nothing. This is so rare, Lua. It looks like it's just the balancing of the intensity. Lua, I have a feeling you're gonna stay in New York pretty much forever in a good way.
Don't say that. No.
Okay. Well, if you don't stay here, then you're going down to South Florida or even down further into South America because the line goes down. So we can talk about how it goes through Colombia,
There you go.
which is incredible. So potentially we can touch upon that, but I just want to maybe potentially ignite that what you're building there, you'll be able to really kind of take wherever, so to speak. But there's something that you've been building that's gonna last the test of time, so to speak. So really strong messages in a positive way from Saturn into your second half of life, just protecting you and giving you the necessary resources, even if sometimes it's so kind of like inch by inch, in a good way.
All right, Lua, blessings to you. Enjoy
Thank
New
you.
York.
Yes, thank you. Let me just ask a quick question. I looked at briefly the what do you
The
call it?
offer.
The offer. Thank you so much. And if I don't sign up today, will it be available for like the next couple days, or is there
Yes,
a
it'll be up
deadline?
for quite a few weeks.
Yes,
Sorry,
yes, yes.
okay, because I
Yeah.
would like
One
to
of the
definitely
best.
swing back around and do that. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so much, blessed ones.
All right,
blessings.
Lua,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much. Blessings, and thank you for the work that you're doing. So beautiful. Thank
Thank you.
all of y'all for the work
Likewise.
that you're doing, and
All of
just
you.
thank all of y'all for the beingness that you're being. I mean, really, that's just it. Um, Carol Sullivan, welcome to the call.
Good evening, gentlemen. Thank
Good
you.
evening.
My birthday is October 12th, 1960. Sorry, I ruined the
You
pattern.
didn't ruin it. You're adding some spice. It's
Yeah,
good.
right. We're still in the 60s. So fabulous.
9:20 a.m., St. Charles, Missouri.
Are you still in Missouri?
I am not. I'm in Connecticut.
Fabulous.
And I'm a massage therapist, but I'm very much wanting to do less of that work
Yeah.
and start a practice of emotional freedom technique, also tapping, known as tapping. So if you can
So
give me
powerful.
anything about that.
As Alejandro pulls you up, would you mind if I share what I heard
Sure.
from guides? I heard just do it.
Up, Ben.
I'm just telling you, it's immediately what came in. Just do it.
Okay, thank you.
You have such an incredible gift, Carol, with the way you synthesize. I'm borrowing that word from John that he so eloquently brought it up earlier. The way that you're able to bring things into people's sphere. It's kind of amazing. So you have this beautiful Mercury, this mind meridian. It's also going to bless you with health in the Northeast. And let's see here. Venus is Venus is so prevalent here, and she's that physical body work. So it's so interesting how it's so prevalent here. That all being said, and I love how Uranus is inspiring us tonight, and John's been we've been tapping into all these placements. There's a message here about how, there's a way that I feel you're going to be able to upgrade the way you share your message, and the way that possibly your knowledge, and the way that you can mentor and pass down. Possibly it's, recording on the computer and talking about your process. Potentially it's recording so that other people can have access to this information, because it looks like that this could be the upgrade. Right now you step into mentor, and I love this idea that I've noticed even in my body work, there's like a softness that's come through where like even less is needed for more. And so there's also something coming up with regard to this, which is so nice. And then let me just confirm here, you have let's see here, Uranus, your little mini miracle, which I think was tapping in. Very similar to what we touched on with Sarah. There's going to be something unexpected with a contact with somebody that maybe has more information or has been doing this. But so Lua, who was just on, is a craniosacral therapist. And I had an amazing reading with a woman in Oregon, Kay, that she's also in a similar process, and she comes to my full moon group. So I always love this idea of, even we saw tonight, how many amazing souls from the 60s tonight, which I want to plug kind of what we were talking about earlier. Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto are in a position right now that we haven't seen since the 60s.
Oh,
And
cool.
Interesting.
so this will be a second go around for all of you amazing souls from the 60s, to then, we remember that turning point right before the Vietnam War, this kind of Aquarian age of sorts, and free love. And I think now it's going to be more about free information and the idea of like nervous system. So you're on the money, Carol. I'm so excited to see what comes up.
Thank you. I will book
Blessings, Carol.
a reading with you. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank
Oh,
you.
awesome. And y'all, again, to book the reading, to get the chakra gratitude practice. And again, it takes you to 7, 14, and 28 days. 28
Yeah.
days into the practice to really flex that muscle. That's part of that special offer as well. And again, the moon gatherings with Alejandro, which happen monthly, that you'll get access to for 12 months. It's all part of the special offer. $139, 2 payment option on it. And it seems like Alejandro's calendar is pretty available right now. So if you do want to schedule your session, it's a great time to do it and get something sooner rather than later, which is wonderful. And I always trust whenever readings show up. Sometimes I'll book a reading from a special offer, and I've had readings be as far out as 18 months. I'm like, oh, okay, which that's been rare, but I just booked it anyway. And the time it came, it's like, I'm so glad it came when it came. It's so interesting how it all works out. You're not going to be 18 months out with Alejandro, I promise you. But I was just sharing that as an example. All right, let's continue here. There's another caller, and I just had to pull up. Okay, here we go. This is Christy. She was born in Sierra Vista, Arizona on October the 19th, 1977 at 7:58 a.m. And I'm obviously happy to repeat any of that if you need it.
I got it. I don't know how I
Great.
got it. So good.
My mind does not work that fast. You're awesome.
Sierra Vista in Arizona. Fabulous, Christy. All right. Let's start off with her message from Uranus. And oh my goodness, the third caller today. This is crazy. Well, actually fourth, because you're included in this bunch with well, yours is a little bit more than the sixth, South John. Christy, something new, a new relationship, a new friendship, or a new communication with somebody. It's going to be very inspiring. that it's, again, the word is unexpected. You might meet them out at a party. I do see your moon transiting the fifth house of fun. So stay open, take some invitations in the next 2 weeks, Christy. I hope that you can make it out and have some fun. I'm noticing that potentially you might want to stay in the Southwest. You have a really strong indication from Saturn, who's talking about building and really getting your life purpose and meaning and creating. I'm also seeing that potentially you'll be doing, if you do stay in this region, there's a lot of traveling, a lot of back and forth. You're not really fixed potentially, or maybe you even, if you are fixed, you're doing that in a certain kind of mental capacity where you spend a lot of time online and you love to explore regions from where you are. However, I do possibly see that travel. So the more west you get, Christy, the more spiritual you kind of have openings for, so to speak. So California has a beautiful Neptune meridian, so you can access it where you are in Sierra Vista, or if you are still there. But just know that it gets stronger into California. And then another wave of blessings, Colorado into Texas, that potentially if you were to start a business, this would be a region that that would benefit. You know, people would want to partake in your groups or your messages. But I'm very satisfied with what I see what's happening in Arizona. So you're in a really good spot.
Wonderful. So good, y'all. Adele, thank you for letting me know. Y'all, replays always go out, and Adele is sharing that she hadn't been receiving the replay emails. Check your spam folder. Sometimes they land there. And make sure to put me on the white list, unspam me, make sure that it's something that you want to receive or choose to. And you can always access replays at beyondtheordinaryshow.com/replay. They're up there. They'll guide you to our page, or you can find Beyond the Ordinary on YouTube as well, John Burgos, and you'll see, God, replays going back, way back. So again, they're available there. Thank you so much for letting me know, Adele, that that's happening. And let's go now to our next caller that I was pulling up, and let's go to Karen. Welcome, Karen.
Thank you. So we're going into another decade now. My birthday was 7/22/54.
Wow.
Building on the wisdom. I love it.
And I was born in Euclid, Ohio.
Oh,
at 3:05 p.m.
Amazing. Euclid would be spelled with a C.
Euclid.
EUC. There it is. Ohio. Perfect. Did you say 1954?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We're gonna look at the angel behind you. The blessing. And then Karen, whereabouts are you these days?
I'm in Ohio. I'm in Bay Village.
Amazing. So I love that the first thing I'm seeing is that you have a gorgeous blessing from Venus in Ohio. And again, Venus, she loves animals, she loves nature, she loves art, she loves the finer things. It's all of that divine feminine. I'm also seeing that in Ohio, you have a destiny meridian. So it looks like your soul really had this kind of choice of, I love to talk about the horoscope being a kind of soul contract. So I do see that that you really are achieving everything that your soul really needed to achieve, because when you're right on that destiny meridian, I'm absolutely so happy that you stayed in Ohio. I'm seeing the amazing longevity line from Saturn. And I guess the only thing that I would spend time, besides, building you up and confirming all the good things, would be to talk about how potentially Pluto, who's the cosmic transformer, has potentially taken things from you that you cherish so much, and kind of the possibly I don't even know if it's unresolved hurt or but I just want to acknowledge that intensity from Pluto. That those endings that kind of they came when they came and you were just like, wait, you know. So thankfully there's so much incredible lines and meridians and wow. So inspiring to see this destiny line, John. It's an
Mm.
amazing position to have.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you,
Right.
Karen.
Aaron, blessings.
Thank you
Y'all
so
just,
much, both of
you're
you.
so welcome. It's wonderful to have you here.
Thanks.
Y'all, again, the replay will be up all weekend long. You know where to find the replays now. BeyondTheOrdinaryShow.com/replays. The special offer of Alejandro. Take advantage of that. Um, Come back and listen. There's I feel like we're navigating our own charts, but there's also something collectively where the reflection of that prism light for each one of us is reflecting something back to everybody else. And we're all being reminded of just how closely woven we are together. And so the opportunities, the finding peace, the excitements about moving somewhere new, whether that's physical or even in an awareness about ourselves or a relational shift that's become possible. The aspects of going through transitions of Pluto and the weight that we've held, that it's beautiful to acknowledge really the courage and the passages that you've been through and how you've gotten to the present moment and how we have an opportunity to carry all that wisdom, not egoically, not out of safety, but again, in that alignment that's really calling us forward to shine our light even more brighter, to open our hearts to not only receive more love, but to be more love for this world that's been waiting for you and for us to give ourselves enough permission to do so. And that the only thing holding it back is the residuals of the past that have been taught to us, but it's not really who we are right now or moving forward. So again, I just love how this community shows up and how we reflect back to each other. Just the amazing, I don't even want to call potential, the amazing truth of what's here. If only we just put our focus on it and let it light up and shine like a huge sun in this world. So it's amazing what's coming through. Alejandro, are there any last messages? And y'all, we will have Alejandro back. We'll get to more readings, but definitely go into special offer. That's why we do this. I want you to go deeper so that you can have that intimacy with self and of course with the teachers and guides that we're highlighting on the calls. Um, so again, definitely take advantage of the special offer. Alejandro will absolutely be back if I have to go drive to, well, I can't drive to California from Hawaii, but you know. Um,
Sail here, sail here.
but I will track him down so he'll come back on. But with that, Alejandro, are there any final messages or information that wants to come through as we end today's call?
I heard what you were just sharing now. The more loving you are, the more powerful you are. And we
Yeah.
live in a world where power is a human currency. And I wanna remind everyone listening today of their power and how they remind me of mine. And it's this prism as we keep, alluding to. And so I've walked so much darkness in this life, John, to be on the light side and to be a champion. You know, I love this idea that there's no right or wrong time or age to know anything or whether it's your purpose or your meaning, because we are these gorgeous evolving beings. And there's really again this message coming through around you're no more worthy today. It's just that today was the day. This is the moment. And now is the choice again to be present because it's in the present that everything happens and really this kind of kind of mixing and coming together of generations and how important all of you are to me, how much space I have for all of you because of all this work that we've been doing. And I think a lot of us are going to be stepping into higher positions of sharing our words. And I want to just remind all of you that as little as you think that you could ever impact anyone, it's beyond. And I want to share my ripples of love and that there really is so much in this moment to live for and to connect with. And you're loved.
Amen.
You're loved.
Amen
You're
to
loved.
that.
You're loved.
Yes, 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 yes. I'm excited. So many of y'all are writing in that you're purchasing the package that you purchased, that you're signing up. So that makes me so
Oh,
excited.
yeah.
It's like, yes, keep the momentum going. And for all of y'all, everybody on the call, it's y'all have enriched our time together here, every single one of you in the time. So thank you for just who you be and the energy that you hold and this eminence of royalty and the awareness of your love that you bring forward onto this kingdom that we are so privileged to walk in. Blessings to you. Thank you. I love you guys, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next call. Bye, everybody.